All right, welcome back to our second segment for this morning.
Yes.
We're here to talk about basketball and mental health awareness. Do they go together? They go
Yes,
together
absolutely.
over there at the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Belize. And so we have in studios with us husband and wife, Mr. Arslan Warraich, and his wife, Miss Maham Warraich. Good morning to
Good
both of you.
morning.
Good morning as well. Thank you
you
for
as
having
well.
us.
Of course, it's a pleasure always to have you guys with us on set. You
I want you guys to continue your basketball conversation.
well, that's exactly what we're going to
Off
get
camera,
into.
Paul and Mr. Arslan were going off about basketball, and I kind of
You
I was
do you,
intrigued.
do you play? Do you play?
Yeah, I do play, but over here we see that for us to go and play, it doesn't have that same effect of us, as us actually going and organizing, right?
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
we do go play regularly, but we feel like there's more to basketball than just playing, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, now the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at has actually grown so much in just 7 years. 7 years ago, 7 seasons ago, the Ahmadiyya Jama'at, the Ahmadiyya Basketball League only had 8 teams. And this year, after 7 seasons, we're sitting at 49 teams.
Wow.
Wow.
600 kids that are benefiting
Wow.
from this league.
So it's
Right.
7 seasons in. It's
Seven
7
seasons,
seasons, 7
7
years.
Well, COVID, right? So COVID
Okay.
caught us. You know, we weren't able to
Yeah.
do it in the year of COVID. But besides that, every year we've been going.
Yeah, I remembered when the league started. I remembered when it began. I worked with youths in my community in Belmopan, and I remembered the buzz. I remembered the conversation when people were saying, "You hear about this league?" And then you guys are touring the country.
Yes.
So it was amazing, and you guys continue to do impressive work with youths and basketball. Tell us a bit about, for those who may not know, a background in terms of the inspiration of hosting such a league.
So the basic idea is that the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, so we are a religious organization, right? But there's 2 parts to our faith, okay? As Muslims, we are taught that the first aspect is the rights that you owe to God. So that's through prayers and trying to make that connection with God. And the second thing, and you can't achieve the first without the second. And the second thing is that the rights that you owe to serving mankind, serving people, right? So we pride ourselves in the work that we do for humanitarian work, right? And when we came here, we realized that a lot of attention is given to soccer, right? There's a lot of funding put into soccer,
Yes.
but there was a huge void for basketball. And the thing is that to tell a child or to tell a youngster that you can't just you can't do this evil, don't do crime. It's really tough for someone to be put in that type of situation, because they have nothing else to do, right? But when you fill that void and you give them an opportunity to actually take out that energy doing something else, then you're opening a path for them, right? And we've seen that with Ahmadiyya Basketball League, just in 7 years, the difference it has made. Now in this year, we've done so many different things, and just to highlight some of that stuff is that we've started a complete show, displaying the highlights of all the kids. We're doing highlights of interviews of ministers and stuff that are coming, of the players of the game, just to kind of put them in the spotlight. And then we're getting the kids to come out and learn camera work, right? Trying to give them skill building, even commentating, right? So we're getting the youth involved in every aspect that we possibly can. It's not just for us, it's not just basketball.
Yeah, a lot of these young people, they've become like local celebrities due to this league. I see a lot more young people invested in the craft, in the sport, in the discipline because of the league, because of wanting to be on top. But like you said, going from 8 teams to over 40 teams, did you guys ever imagine it to, obviously there was a void, and a void that was filled, and a void that demand that was there. Did you guys ever see this coming to this point?
I think whenever you do, you always try to reach for the stars, right?
Yeah.
You always try to do something as big as possible. And the thing is that our intention, and everyone who knows the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat knows that we have no desire for personal gain.
Yeah.
Our sincere efforts are only to please God, and to to ensure that these youth have someone there, you know, someone that cares for them, so that they know that, you know, they have someone to turn back on. And with this, there's a lot of other projects that we've been able to do because of this. Because now it's as if, you know, they feel like they have a family. They have, you know, they have someone that cares for them. And with this, we've started putting up basketball boards and rims, as you guys have probably have seen. But it's just that helping people as much as we can with our limited resources, right? But doing the best we can for them, because this is our future, you know.
Yeah.
Now there is a all-star competition that we'll get into, but April, there's also a mental health
Yes, so
awareness.
I mean, you asked the question, does basketball and mental health go together? And I absolutely think it does, because you have said it yourself, the changes that you have seen in the youths have been tremendous, right? I know that your wife, Maham, is the president of the Women's Group Association. Talk to us a little bit about the mental health awareness program and how it was developed.
So the first thing that we did was talk to our ladies here, right? We see people come and they come to our community, and something that we really saw was that a lot of people were dealing with past issues such as domestic abuse, childhood trauma, and they carried it on because they never dealt with it, and that was affecting their relationship, that was affecting their work life, that was affecting their relationship with their children. And because their mental health wasn't proper, their physical health wasn't proper, right? So we realized that that was a huge thing that was missing, and a lot of our ladies do need it, and that was definitely the same situation around Belize as well. So we wanted to do something that would benefit the women. So we try to do, we also, Miss Renee Wentz, who's conducting this event, she also did a survey, and she had 13 categories, and she did it in our community. And she realized that these were the top 4 things that she should focus on, and that's what the program is. It's like exactly what the ladies wanted. So we're just trying to do different initiatives to benefit the women. We've done previous things in the past, and that's the same thing here, that we wanted to do something for them as well.
Okay, so I see that it's supposed to be like a workshop, right? So how is it just for one day?
Yes.
Okay.
So right now it's for one day, and we were saying that if it's good and like we have, you know, a positive feedback, that in a couple of months later we'll do another, like we'll cover more topics afterwards.
Okay, how did you get in contact with Miss Wentz?
She's actually worked with the Ahmadiyya community before. She worked 4 years ago, and she taught a defense class for 4 weeks with us.
Oh, wow.
So she's worked with us before. So it was just, I guess in COVID, has slowed down a little bit. So we're like slowly opening up. So mental health is definitely needed, especially after COVID, because it's been a hard 2 years for everyone.
What can those in attendance, I would imagine it's a woman, what can those in attendance expect from the event on April 23rd?
Yeah, so Miss Renee Wentz is like hosting the whole thing. She's organized it with the main topics of childhood trauma, domestic abuse, and then she covers depression and anxiety because they go hand in hand. And then she also is going to cover stress management, just to see how to deal with that and how it's practical for, you know, someone who's dealing with it. That's a different situation, but someone who has a family member, someone who has a friend, we're trying to give coping mechanisms for them to help better society. What, you know, as we say that to reform a nation, it starts from home, and it starts from the ladies. So we're trying to reform the nation through the ladies in Belize.
Yeah. So I would imagine for you as the president of the Women's Association that this is a passion. You wanting to see this type of help, this type of aid. Why is it important for you to see the women in Belize receive this type of encouragement and help?
So we see that a lot of ladies are very strong, but they're dealing with a lot, and they haven't really gotten don't have the means to, you know, get that treatment done. They don't have the means to educate themselves. They just ignored themselves and sacrificed themselves for their children, and they just have ignored themselves. But that childhood trauma, that domestic abuse is carrying on, and we need to deal with it because we don't want to repeat history. We want people to be able to help their children, to help their siblings, to help other ladies around. So our main goal is just to help each other. So it's not just reforming one person, but it's reforming everyone around us.
Target group in Belize City, is there a group in particular you're targeting?
So we're basically doing all ladies. Everyone is invited. But the reason this was brought up was because I spoke to our local ladies, part of our community, and this was something that was very prevalent in them. So we wanted to focus on them, but then we realized that a lot of people could benefit from it. So we wanted to do an open event for everyone.
Where can we buy tickets?
Okay, so the tickets will be sold at the door. So it's $5 per person.
Okay. So I could just come
Yes,
23rd. I
you
don't
can-
have to purchase before.
Yeah, but we do have a limit of 50 seats.
Okay.
Okay, so get your tickets now.
If you would like to pre-reserve your
Yeah.
seat, you can contact me at 615-2648
615-2648. Where is the event being held?
at Masjid Noor, so 1.5 miles George Price Highway.
All right. Let's jump
back
into
to
the
basketball.
basketball just to talk a bit about the All-Star game coming up. This is another event that you guys are hosting. Tell us about this All-Star event.
So like you know now, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at is going to be super busy this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So Saturday you got the mental health awareness
Yes.
program, and then on Sunday you have the show, or the I want to say the huge show that the Ahmadiyya Basketball League will be putting on.
Yeah.
The All-Star game is going to be filled with a lot of hype. There's going to be the three-point contest. There's going to be the dunk-off.
Wow.
There's going to be the skills competition, and then the highlight of it all will be the different categories having their All-Star games. Right.
Okay.
So there's a U15, there's a U18, there's a U22, and then there's an open category. Each category will have their own All-Star game. Through the standings, the players have been picked, right? And we're very excited because we see, we always see it. We see it every week. We see that the talent these guys are putting in. And, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat has had this league run in a lot of different countries. We're in over 200 countries, right?
Wow.
So to see, and I've actually played in the one in Canada.
Yeah.
And you never see the amount of passion that you see here. It's unmatched. These guys are not only just playing on Sunday, but they're practicing regularly. Teams are practicing 3 times a week, and you see that result, and you see that the talent is phenomenal, and you see that even ABS Hard Rock, they just recently went to what's it called? They went to Mexico just recently and they came back victorious, right?
Yeah.
That's that practice, that passion that they're doing, and if you look at the scores, they destroyed everyone, right? So it's very nice to see that and I feel like it's our job as a nation to want to take that to the next step, right? Yeah. So the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is trying to do their part in taking that step. So
first All-Star game, is it? So what can be expected from some of these
So I don't know if you can see in
we were
the
seeing
highlights.
the highlights.
Yes, the highlight.
So I know, I'm sure you probably know Butch, but what he did last time was he jumped over his wife and child.
Wow!
Right? He jumped. they were all safe. They're all safe. But there's a lot of talent, and there's going to be. It's not something that you want to miss. It's happening at the Mexico Center.
Yes.
Right.
It's a $2 entrance.
It's $2 entrance fee. Yeah, and that's one bottle of coconut water, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about, because we're trying to make that connection with basketball and mental health, and these boys, they sign up. You gave them another option, another opportunity to do something better with their lives. What has the response been from their community and their family members? Do they come out? Do they support? Do they come and watch?
So right in the beginning when we started the league, because of COVID restrictions, it was a little bit tough. So the amount of players you could bring in because of restrictions was very limited. Yeah. But now that has been lifted, you see that the gym is packed, and it's something really special happening, right? And you said in regards to how it's helping the community. So we're trying to do our part, and you can only do so much. So this is an example for everyone else to feed off of, right? But something that we're doing special this year is that there's community service, that every team is required to do mandatory community service, right? So it's because it's more than basketball, and I feel like sports is an avenue where you learn so much, right? So this is kind of the idea of what we're trying to do here.
So it's at the Mexico Center, Sunday, right after the mental
Saturday.
health
On Saturday.
program on Saturday from 9 to 4. So it's all
day.
day.
Yeah.
Different teams. How many teams?
So it's going to be the competitions in the beginning, right? And then there's going to be the 4 games.
Yes.
So each
For
category
all-star
will have
game.
an all-star.
Yeah,
all-star
I think
game.
y'all should begin to consider a celebrity game.
Yeah.
That's just
That's
my.
what Paul wanted.
That's
Paul
just my
wanted to
pitch
watch
there.
the mayor
I want to
play
see
basketball.
some Belizean known faces, some ministers, some.
You think about the national all-star where you see like different
Apart that
captains
NEAB did that, but
Yeah, that.
anyways, that's another conversation.
Definitely.
We want to thank you both for coming
Yes.
in and telling us about these events. Thanks, such a power couple,
Yes.
both of you,
Yes.
I must say. But apart from that, you both are doing, and the Muslim community is doing amazing work in Belize. And so congratulations. Any final thoughts from both of you?
We would just like to thank you for having us. We really appreciate it, and please do attend our event.
Yes.
I think 50 seats is gonna go very quickly. I mean, like I told you before we came on, that your other event was a success. I couldn't even get another henna because the line was so long. Yeah. So thank you both so much. And any final thoughts for the
Well,
basketball?
honestly, just thank you so much for having us, and it's always a pleasure coming here. And you guys are doing great work, so it's always a pleasure to sit with you guys.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.
so with that, we'll take another break, and when we come back, we have Shekar Indian Restaurant. He'll be preparing a classical Indian lunch for us. You don't want to
2
miss
weeks in
that.
a row.
Yes.
2 weeks in a row. Last week we had Indian Thursday. This week we have Indian. I like it.
You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.